Boom! There's a Moroccan that came up from under the truck. The guy was hiding under the truck there, and I guess he was trying to enter Europe illegally. Where's your second girlfriend? I'm like, oh, she's back in France.
What's going on?
Oh, the guy just called. By the looks of it, we can get a ferry. So it's been about, what, 2-3 months that we're stuck here in Morocco, and about 3 weeks that we send the blood test for our dog. That's the only thing that we're missing to be able to leave this country and go back to Europe. And right now I'm gonna try to call the vet, see if he got the result. If he got the result, maybe we can try to book a ferry to leave this country and continue our adventure in Europe.
Merci.
Au revoir. We should get the results soon by email. The veterinary got it. He never sent it to us, so we had to call to make sure he sent it to us again. So make sure you do your follow-up. And right now we're trying to subscribe to a ferry. There's supposed to be 5 of them going from Tangier to Malaga. And it's like a repatriation ferry. One of our neighbor, Juan, she's from Spain, took it about a week ago. So we're trying to subscribe, see if we get an answer, and if they call us back, maybe we can get out of here and take the ferry. Something quite funny actually happened is we're cooking supper and some white cars show up, just a regular car. The guy dropped the window, he start yelling, "Police, police!" So I go walk towards him because obviously it's a police officer. And he's like, "Do you remember me? Do you remember me?" And the guy is like, "Where's your second girlfriend?" I'm like, "Oh, she's back in France." So funny story, a few weeks back, Laura, one of our friends, was here after the curfew, so after 6 o'clock. And this guy show up and he asked where we're staying. So I told him that we're all staying in our camper van. And he looked at the van, he's like, "Where do you sleep?" I'm like, "Well, that's my 2 girlfriends and we sleep in the camper van." So obviously they remember me because it's not that common that somebody have 2 girlfriends. We didn't want the girl to get into trouble, so I had to lie about it a little bit. So about 2 weeks ago, we're having a night here cooking fish, and then Samir is there. He's the only friend that is from Morocco, but he lives in France, and he speaks actually Arabic. So the gendarmerie show up, and then we're drinking a little bit, a few beer, having fish on the grill, and they grab our friend and they bring him to the car. And then they ask him for money because that's how it works around here. And Samir told the gendarmerie that he's not gonna pay, and he know what the gendarmerie is trying to do, so he's arguing with them, and the gendarmerie don't want to hear it. They say they're gonna bring him to prison for 48 hours. So they drive the car back out of here with our friend. Our friend disappeared for maybe 20 minutes. And he told the gendarmerie, "You know, I have family in the military. They're high grade in Morocco. What you're doing right now is not right." One of his brother is super high grade in the military for the protection of the king. So his brother called back, and then he put the phone on speakerphone and he passed it to the gendarmerie, and his brother just give his name, and then the gendarmerie kind of changed face a little bit and they say, "Okay, no problem." They apologized to Samir after that. They were laughing about it, and then they give him a ride back home. But Amanda was filming in the camper van with the lights on, and then they noticed Amanda filming, so he started getting mad. He's like, "You can't take picture of the police officer." And then one officer get out of the car, go see Amanda. Amanda was filming with her phone. So she, instead of showing the phone what she's filming, she showed the camera, so there was nothing on it. And then it was good after that. Amanda went to talk with them, with me, and then they were asking questions. They were more curious. And then they told us, "You guys are swimming?" Obviously, we're not allowed to swim, so we say, "Oh, no, we're not swimming." He's like, "Oh, it's okay, you can go swim, but before 9 o'clock. So that's how fucked up the situation here is Morocco. You got the gendarmerie, who are official police. They told us you can go swim before 9 o'clock. And you're walking in the street with your dog, and the Qaeda pass, and they told you they're gonna arrest you. Right now, we are still at the beach. We didn't move. Yesterday, we used our last full day that we're maybe thinking that we're here to do a little bit of maintenance on the van. That's really important if you don't want to get stuck on the road with breakdown. And we're still waiting for a call for the ferry. The hopes are pretty down because if we don't get a call today or tomorrow, I think it's we don't know what's next. So we're still at the beach, and today we're gonna go do a little bit of shopping to grab some last minute souvenir because we have room on in the van to bring some souvenir for family and friends. So, but that's the plan for today, and hopefully we get a phone call. Maybe we can leave this place. If not, we gotta wait and hang out here more.
I'm gonna call you right now, okay?
Okay. Bye.
What's going on?
Oh, the guy just called. By the looks of it, we can get a ferry. It's not sure he's gonna call me back in 1 minute, but by the looks of it, we can get a ferry to Malaga. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir. It's Valeria.
Okay. Yeah, that's me.
Where are you exactly now in Morocco?
Right now we're in Tamraght, next to Ourid.
Next to Aurel.
Yeah, next to Agadir.
So, next to Agadir.
Yeah.
Okay. There is a ferry tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
So the 9th at 12 o'clock.
No, not in the night. In the morning, 12.
Yeah, but I mean June 9 in 2 days.
Okay, you need the ferry for after tomorrow.
Yeah, for after tomorrow, that'll be better. Give us the time to drive up north.
Okay, there's no problem. Okay, so you are 2 persons, yeah?
That's correct.
There's Tiglaska and Samuel.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, you have a camping car. How long is the camping car?
It's 6 meter.
6 meters.
Yeah,
Do you have trailer?
no trailer.
Any dogs, any cats?
Yeah, we have 1 dog.
You have 1 dog, okay?
How much?
416 euro.
It's always last minute, right? If we don't know the next ferry, what it's gonna be, and give us more chance. Ah, fuck. I think we should go. Just get out of here. Hello.
Hello.
Okay. That's good. What else do you need? So, as predicted by me, with my positive thinking, we just got a call for the ferry. Amanda didn't believe me this morning, but we just got a call at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, and the ferry is 2 days, so they offer us a ticket. We kind of didn't have time to think it through. We just bought the ticket. It was a little bit expensive, 416 euros. So now we kind of regret it a little bit, but it's a little bit too late now. So we have to head out to Europe. Good choice, bad choice, we don't know, because we don't know if the regular ferry is going to start later. But now we have an opportunity to just leave Morocco and go back to Europe. So after over 3 months, I think it's time for us to leave. We're getting ready to leave tomorrow, and it's our last night. I asked everybody who wants the doghouse. Nobody wants it, so as you can see, we're burning it. I think Lila, she was looking by the window and she's telling herself, this is my hometown, I'm gonna miss it, all good souvenir when I used to be skinny and not having water. Sky's the limit now, I'm going to Europe and become famous, find a job and start making movies. We pick up our first hitchhiker actually on this road this morning, give him a ride to Marrakesh, so the dog had to ride the back on the mattress. She likes it, but at the end, I don't know if she sensed that maybe we want to abandon her because she see around that we're far from home, or she just wants some food. But now she's back in the front seat and she's nice and calm.
We're a few hours into the drive. We are close to Casablanca. So far there was not even one police control, which we're pretty happy about because we don't think we have the proper paperwork to get to the ferry. We only have the ticket for our ferry. I got some documents an hour ago from my embassy, but they say I still gotta stamp it at a police station. So far so good. No police control. We're trying to get to the vet before they close, and we'll see how the road goes after that.
First time in our trip, actually, almost that we actually take the paid highway, because usually it's expensive, but we're on a short time frame, so we don't really have the choice. We paid 264 dirham for maybe, I don't know, 4-hour drive on the highway. Found it's expensive. So we just did our certificat de bonne santé for our dog. We pay 150 dirham. And they basically just check the temperature, make sure she's healthy, give us a paper so we can bring her back home to Europe first with us. So now Lila's good to go.
We're in Tangier and I'm totally tired, and I think Sam is even more tired than me because he's been driving all the way. We couldn't sleep at any of the spots that we save at the coast because the police says it's forbidden. So we end up in the middle of the town in the safest spot you can only imagine because it's just in the middle of the street, so nobody can recognize you. And we're gonna spend the night here. Tomorrow go do some shopping, spend our last day in Morocco, and head for the ferry.
Trying to organize those socks, and I left the trip with tons of pair of socks, but now I got some alone one that I can't find pair, and that's the biggest mistakes. Usually I develop a strategy of having always the same color of socks. Let's just say you just buy 10 pair of black socks. You don't have to worry about matching them. But when you have different color, then you lose one, then you know. This is my struggle this morning.
This is our last day in Morocco. We have only a few things to do. One of them was grocery. We found that the fruits and vegetables are way cheaper in Morocco than in Europe, so we stock up a little bit, at least as much as we can eat. And of course we bought some souvenirs for our friends and family. And other than that, we're gonna be heading to the port, to the ferry. So far we had not even one police check coming up from Agadir. Because the notice was so short, we didn't even have time to send a postcard to our friends and families, so they're gonna be arriving soon, we hope.
Well, here we are. We made it to Tanger Med, and we're actually quite early. I think it's what, 2 o'clock right now, and the ferry is at
11 p.m.
So we have a while to wait, but there's already tons of camper here, and we're just gonna hang tight. So the weirdest thing just happened at the port. We're looking, and there's security going under the front truck in front of us. They're looking under, so we're like, they're probably looking for drug, maybe smuggling some hashish. And then they're coming back, and there's another guy, and then boom, there's a Moroccan that came up from under the truck. The guy was hiding under the truck there, and I guess he was trying to enter Europe illegally. Eventually that's his project, but they caught the guy. So watch your van at the border here. It's about 5:30. We move about, I don't know, maybe 30-40 meter max. There's tons of camper. Everybody's on a fucking rush. Sorry for my language right now, but there's some rumors going on that some camper yesterday didn't get on the ferry and they bought a ticket. So everybody's on panic mode and go ultra strategic to try to cut corners, and even have a guy who hit my mirror. Like, we're running at 2 kilometers per hour. He managed to hit the mirror because he was such on a rush to get like one position further. And so at 7:15 we arrive at 2 o'clock. We're actually at the beginning of the line, but I think we're just moving to go at the end of the line on the other side. So we didn't make any progress. Ferry's in 5 hours. Hopefully we can get in. So far it's 8 o'clock. It's been 6 hours. We're still not on the ferry yet, but we passed the police and the douane. I don't know what's next.
So that's it, we passed the big scanner. How was that?
Easy, actually. Didn't even ask question or anything. Getting prepared for my like 10-hour ferry. Spend the night on the ferry. We get in our camping car, so we got blankets, pillow for the dog, and some food and water.
It turns out that since we have a dog, she gotta go in like a special cage, but we went to see it. It's like a dog hotel, but it kind of looked bad. All the dogs are yapping and they're quite sad, so we have decided to resign from our seating spaces and go with the dog upstairs on the open space where she can stay and camp with us. So we're setting up a camp where we can watch some movies. How's the camp? We made it! We are in Europe. The night was kind of hard to sleep because it was windy and not that comfortable, but finally we're here. We can go find some spot to park.
See if I can pass with my Canadian passport, which should be fine, but you never know. And find a place to park for the night because we're tired, so we're not gonna drive too much today. We got super lucky because there's still people inside the ferry waiting to get out because the line is huge. There's camper everywhere and everybody's trying to cut everybody, and we were the last to enter the ferry and almost the first to exit. I think we wait maybe an hour and a half max. We're on the road. They didn't even check any paper basically. They asked for passport. I don't think they ever noticed that we had a dog, so all the paper that we did for the dog, they didn't really ask for it, but we got it anyway. She's good to go now.
Concluding the last few days, we've been called from Balearia 48 hours before the ferry. So
Yeah, last minute and at like 6:30 at the end of the day, and we're a 10-hour drive from there, so it doesn't give you much time.
maybe if you're looking for a ferry, it's a better idea to move up north and wait somewhere closer.
We crossed, we didn't have any issue with Amanda's passport is European and the vehicle is European plate, so we got lucky, more lucky than some of our friend Canadian, the YOLO family. From what we heard, they had some issue in Barcelona. We didn't get the detail yet, but they were telling us that
They said that maybe if they had printed out the paperwork that they're shipping their van from Europe to America because they're from the North America, maybe then they would let them enter Europe, but we really don't know the details. So maybe that's a clue too. If you're not from Europe and you want to pass through Europe to go home, it's good to have some additional paperwork for your plane tickets or whatever, so they let you pass.
just to have a plan B. And here in Spain so far, from what we've seen, we're around Granada. We're in Malaga this morning, and there's no roadblock, there's no anything.
The quarantine, the lockdown in Morocco started exactly 2.5 months ago. For the first 2 months, we still couldn't do sports and go to swim. Well, at least the police didn't say anything when we were doing it.
No,
And
we had a pretty good time at the beginning. We were able to surf, walk on the beach, do pretty much whatever we want. So it's basically not a lockdown, it was pretty much a vacation. But
then 2 weeks ago, out of nowhere, there was no restriction added, but the CAID started to implement that you cannot swim, you cannot run, you cannot walk the dog. So the situation got pretty much out of hand. And it was like a real lockdown. That's why we have decided to take the ferry.
we just learned yesterday that the lockdown is kind of extend in some region of Morocco, and some other region they kind of remove some restrictions, but it's not like over 100%. So we're kind of happy because there's not going to be any regular ferry for a cheap price for the next month or maybe more.
Yeah,
We don't know what
the
future is
lockdown
gonna
has
be.
been extended for 1 month to 10th of July, and then you don't know what's gonna happen 10th of July. So
We're kind of happy with the choice at the beginning. We're like, maybe it was so expensive, but at the end of the day, I think it's a good move. And here in Europe so far, it's pretty good. So
we could go for our first run. We didn't have to run away from the police when we start running. So it's a peace of mind, and it's like a little bit more free living right here, I found.
And for those who don't know, like we speak about the Caïd in Morocco, the Caïda that they call is a military authority responsible for a sector. And there is still gendarmerie, there's still Sûreté Nationale. And Caïda, they have snitches. So basically they have local that know the area, and they're not very police or they don't have any badge or anything, but you don't see them coming. So they can be on a regular scooter, on a regular car, or they could be just walking, and then they snitch you to the Caïda. And some of them, they're aggressive. We even see a guy getting beat
Punched
down
on
in the
the floor
sand, and then the guy
for
was
walking on the beach.
for walking on the beach. So it's at the end of the day, it was starting to get a little bit annoying with them. We have a good time in Morocco, but the last few weeks was a little bit,
Crazy.
extreme.
So that's why we decided to take the ferry. And if you're thinking about taking the ferry, we hope it helps you to see how it actually works. Good luck.